a tight end that I like a lot. That's Pat
good tight end.
Freiermuth out of Penn State, 6'5", 260 pounds. This is a guy who he only 4 games into the season got hurt, had to have shoulder surgery, but he leaves Penn State.
So he actually got hurt.
Record.
He actually got hurt in the second game. He got hurt in the Ohio State game and then played through two extra games. But
that's
go ahead.
one tough.
And then he
SOB.
said, Penn State is terrible this year. I'm done.
I'm out.
Have we won yet? I'm done. My shoulder hurts.
He owns the record of touchdowns for a tight end at Penn State, which says a lot by itself. This guy is everything you want out of a tight end, right? He can block solidly. He's a really good athlete. He's kind of like a Hunter Henry plus kind of athlete. What kind of a really good route runner for his size. He's really good off the line. He's got really good quick speed and burst off the line, which I love to see off a tight end because like a lot of tight end, you want to create those short area mismatches.
Absolutely.
He does that really, really well. When he goes up and gets the ball, he attacks the ball excellently, right? He's somebody go up there. If you want to see a couple one-handed catches, he has those on tape. You want to see him pop the ball up in there, one-handed, very, very strong hands. This is a guy that is going to be a quarterback.
He's going to be the best friend. Yeah, the
best friend.
The safety blanket. I like your comp to Hunter Henry. I said the exact same thing. Like I did a little conclusion here, and I wrote Hunter Henry, like a more athletic Hunter Henry or Austin Hooper type of guy. Who's just their quarterback's best friend. Like you said, they can work the middle of the field. They can find soft spots in the zone and present themselves to a quarterback. These are all important things for just reliability from a tight end, and I think he offers that. Plus, Hunter Henry's a nice fantasy option, but I think this is a more athletic version of him, so I think he's got a higher upside.
And that was going to be my point, is I think a lot of people, they're going to see the 6'5", 260, and they're going to think like, an inline guy, a guy that's going to be a mauler, and, no, he can move.
Yep.
Like he can move. He can get open. He's really savvy with his route running, and especially more so for tight ends, more than other positions, like the feel that he has in zones. Because that's a big thing, is a lot of times you're not getting man coverage as much on the tight ends. You're getting a lot more zone coverage over the middle. He has a really good feel for the dead spots in the zones. Very, very intelligent player.
Turns, shows his body, here's my numbers, and hit him.
And then he's going to drag some guys. But and there were even plays that I saw him line up in the backfield, a little bit of creativity. He's a very complete player.
I saw that in film too. Like he'll improvise, which I love to see out of a smart tight end. Where he'll have his route, and then he'll see the soft spot in his zone, and he'll break off it, and he's like this, waving his hand, and boom, tight end hits him instead of that 8-yard route he had, 18-yard route that he got. All of a sudden, very solid. Like I said, for a guy of his size, you mentioned the size, he's very athletic. Like his burst is fantastic. Yeah. So for me, this guy is a very solid fantasy football option. Yep. I like him in a tight end premium league as high as 2.2, 2.3, that range right around there. Again, from a tier standpoint, it's Kyle Pitts. Then for me, it's out of this class, it's Pat Freiermuth. And then we're ending the next tier, right? For me personally, because
I'm 100% with you there.
He's one of those guys that's kind of like TJ Hawkinson, right?
Mm-hmm.
He does everything well. I think T.J. Hawkinson's a little bit more athletic than Pat Freiermuth. He's a very special tight end. Sure. So he's went top 10. But he's going to help an NFL team, and he's going to help your dynasty team at the same time. In the right system, this guy could finish as easily a top 6 dynasty tight end.
I think so too.
On a regular basis. And he's been doing it for a while. Like he looked good on tape 2 years ago as well. So, and obviously I had to watch a little bit of that tape as well because he only played 4 games last year. So for me, this is a guy. Now, I saw a couple things on there where I feel like he's a little bit more comfortable when he has like the off coverage, right? Like when he's not being pressed. Because when you press him at the line, it's where I saw him struggle the most. Like that's where he kind of got thrown off of his balance. He struggled a little bit more there. Like when you pressed him on film a little bit, like it was hard. Like he couldn't get into his route, couldn't get open. Like there's no production there.
I know exactly what you're talking about, and it's funny because we talked about how strong his hands are at the catch point, which is one of his best attributes. Mm-hmm. But he actually doesn't always use his hands well on his routes. He doesn't do a good job of getting guys off of him. He doesn't do a good job of ripping through, creating separation with that. So that's going to be the thing for him is I don't know that he's going to create as much separation as some of the other guys will, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I think he'll struggle getting consistent separation at the next level. That'll probably be something for him. But I think there's some techniques that he could learn as a route runner in his routes. Like and get inside defenders a little bit better, that can help take his game to another level. I think he's a really good example of like Pat Freiermuth, year one, consistently what we see out of tight ends, nothing. Year two takes a step forward. Now all of a sudden he's like, ooh, kind of like a sick. Let's get a little bit more involved. And then year three of him, like he shines. He's in that upper tier of dynasty tight ends.
And the good news is these are very nuanced things that coaches can teach. It's not like we're worried about his athleticism. It's not like we're worried about, him catching. It's not like we're worried about his blocking. Like these are the things that he's able to do, the core things he's able to do really well. But there are just a few nuanced things that could easily be coached up at the next level. That you can, we talk about how important it is to be a good route runner for a receiver, and it is, like, that's very important. But you hear it from NFL coaches all the time that, this guy came in as a trash route runner. We worked with him for a year or two, and look at him now. So those are definitely things that can be fixed at the next level.
And we didn't really touch on the blocking, but as far as these top three guys, I mean, I think
best by quite a bit.
Yeah, easily. Yeah, and I think we probably all see that on film, but I just wanted to at least mention it.
No, you're absolutely right.
So everyone else hears it as well. So I think he's got an easy path to being on the field just because he is probably the best blocker out of these top three. Easily.
Yep.
Yeah, very solid prospect. I like him a lot. My number 2 dynasty tight end.
He's mine as well.
These are rankings I could say now before I get through the process. For tight end, it's easily Kyle Pitts, and then it's Pat Freiermuth, like easily for me, and then it's everybody else.